Sam, the end is in sight to this very long election campaign as we all go to the polls on Saturday. Did you know there are 57 political parties registered? More than 1,600 candidates. 994 of them in the lower house, 631 in the Senate. But do you know who you're voting for? Some of the parties are named after individuals who we've come to know. Some of them have major policies which are pretty obvious from their names. But that's where it can get a bit murky. There are some parties which are more obscure, where their name might imply one thing, but their policies are another thing altogether. Take the Health Australia Party. It's running Senate candidates in Victoria, Queensland, Western Australia, and in New South Wales they scored the first spot on the Senate ballot. But they warrant further attention. They're against vaccination. They want natural medicine to be on equal footing with pharmaceuticals, more home births, no fluoride in our water. Now, the 21st Century Australia Party, heard of them? Well, it has candidates running for the Senate in Queensland, New South Wales and Victoria, as well as 9 lower house seats. Never heard of them? They're keen to change our political system. They want people to be able to vote directly for major policies and for the PM. They want spending to be decided by an independent body, and they want to act state governments. The Democratic Labor Party should not be confused with the Australian Labor Party. Its policy platform is very, very different. Another little-known party is the Socialist Alliance. Among its policies are phasing out private health care and extending Medicare. There are also a swag of political parties claiming to be pro-Australia, but with policies that are firmly against multiculturalism. So, with so many parties to choose from, there's a lot to consider. But the bottom line is you should take some time to do a bit of research before blindly ticking a box on Saturday and sort of protesting against one of the big parties and showing your anger towards them. If you go for a little one, make sure you understand them. Now, more than 15.5 million of us will be voting in what's actually the biggest election in Australia's history. The man who's running the show is this bloke, Tom Rogers. Tom, good morning to you.
Good morning, Kosh.
Now,
How are you?
just explain to us the changes to the Senate voting. Now, the ballot is massive that we have to vote on for some of us in some states. Has it changed the voting?
Not only is the ballot paper massive, the font is very small, which makes it even harder, Koshy, as you know. So It's a difficult thing, but it's easy for people to remember. To cast a formal vote, 1 to 6 above the line or 1 to 12 below the line, which is different from last time.
Because last time it was just 1. Now it's 1 to 6. What if you make a mistake? Can you go back and say, oh, muck that one up? Can I have another one?
You absolutely can. And there is also a thing called a savings provision. So whilst I'm saying 1 to 6 above the line and 1 to 12 below the line, that is the way to cast a formal vote, there are other ways for us to save that vote when we count it if it's not quite right. But I urge you... Well, there's been quite a lot of publicity about the fact that if someone votes 1 above the line and there's no other errors on the ballot paper at all, we may be able to count that vote as a formal vote.
Oh.
So there's a thing called a savings provision in the Act. But a formal vote, the way we're advising everyone to vote, what will appear on the ballot paper, 1 to 6 above the line or 1 to 12 below the line.
OK. Polling day is massive for you. Do you get a bit nervous? How many people are working the booths?
The statistics are quite amazing. So we've got close to 80,000 people that help us during the entire electoral period. There's 7,000 polling booths. We print something like 45 million ballot papers. There are voting 94 overseas missions. We've got 41 mobile teams going right through remote Australia by boat, plane and car. It's quite an amazing statistic.
Do you get nervous?
We don't sleep for a few weeks. It's a very tough time.
Question I've always wondered, is this part of the Act, why don't you need to show identification when you go to the roll and get your name crossed off?
It's in the Act that the voting system we have is a matter for Parliament, and Parliament have decided that that's the way we vote, so that's what we do.
So they like people to vote early and vote often?
I would never talk about what Parliament likes or doesn't like, Koshy. So.
All right, Tom, good luck for the big day.
Thank you very much.
Sam.